first, what is task environment? So task environment, it is an environment that helps an organization to attain business goals. So meaning, directly affect the organization, directly siya makaka-affect sa organization para ma-attain mga business goals. So meron more factors yung task environment para ma-attain yung business goals. So first is yung competitors. Competitors, kailangan mo ng competitors para makagawa ka ng product na high quality or para mas makakalingin ng mga tao. So, pag wala kang competitors, wala kang yung business mo, hindi ka makakabawa ng mas magandang business mo. So, second naman is yung customers. So, yung customers, siya yung mag-decision na mag-i-create ng business mo. Kasi kung walang customers, walang bibili ng mga product. So, third naman is yung suppliers. Yung suppliers naman, kung may nagsusupply sa'yo ng magagandang good quality na raw material, ayun yung mas pipiliin mo. Kasi, yung magiging product mo is good quality. That's distributors. So, yung distributors naman, siya yung wala siyang pinipiling, gitna ka siya sa mga wholesalers at retailers. Nasa gitna ka siya. So, next is the general environment. So, what is general environment? It is large environment that invade the environment. So, sinasabi doon, parang masyado siya malaking environment, kaya sasakot natin yung task environment. So, meaning, tumutulong siya sa task environment, tumutulong yung general environment para ma-develop or ma-mod yung task environment. That's all.
Good day everyone. My report is about international environment. The international environment directly affects many organizations. In addition, external events can influence on domestic sectors of the environment as well. For example, Vietnam encounters an adverse weather that destroy their crops. Now they could not supply the Philippines because of the weather, and that leads to increase of cost in grain in the Philippines. My next is the changing environment. The pattern and events occurring in the environment can be described along several dimensions. These dimensions then boils down to two essential ways. Number one is the need for information about the environment, and the second is the need for resources from the environment. Now, the environmental conditions of complexity and changes create a greater need to gather information and to respond based on that information. The organization also needs to concern with scarce material and financial resources, and we do need to ensure the availability of the resources. My last topic is about simple complex dimension. The simple complex dimension concerns environmental complexity, which refers to heterogeneity or the number of dissimilarity of external elements relevant to organizations operations. The more external factors that regularly influence the organizations, and the greater number of other companies in an organization's domain, the greater the complexity. That's the thing.
Good day, Ma'am Primavera. I'm giving it natin ang going to report about stable and unstable dimensions. So, what is stable and unstable dimensions? Stable and unstable dimensions are facts na nag-occur always sa isang organizations, meaning that there are no permanent nowadays. Pag sinabi na stable dimensions, ito yung nag-stick lang sila sa plano na una nila doon na i-launch, especially sa Nokia, which is the 3210. Nung una nila nilabas yung 3210, nag-stick lang sila sa design na gano'n na may keypads. Unlike sa stable dimensions Stable devices naman, ito yung nagpo-produce sila ng mas maraming designs na mas magandang specs, mas maganda, mas advanced technology unlike sa NOIA. The importance of this topic is that we all know that everything change, especially sa trends ng tao. Dahil lahat dito sa mundo natin nagbabago. Parang sa hilig lang sa isang gadgets. Kasi kung ikukumpara mo yung Nokia sa iPhones, alam naman natin na mas maganda yung specs ng iPhones kaysa sa Nokia. Sa itsura, mas maganda yung iPhone, sa specs na mas advanced, unique, especially yung mas compatible siya sa isang tao. Yun nga, ang importance na yung tawag na to is about kailangan din natin kasi mag-invent pa ng mas maraming designs kaysa mag-stick to lang tayo sa plano natin. Dahil pag nag-stick to ka na sa planong inilaunch mo, like sa Nokia, hindi siya tutuloy-tuloy. May possibility na bumaba yung business mo. Kung sakaling mag-invent na naman ng panibago, nandiyan yung risk na tinatawag. Dahil hindi mo naman agad na makukuha yung timpla na gusto ng tao pagka gumagawa ka ng iba't ibang products. Pero pagka gumawa ka naman ng panibagong products, syempre hindi naman siya yung pare-pares na ng specs. Syempre kailangan din ng mga upgrades. So, yun lang po.
Good evening everyone, my name is Jane Risa Galang and my report is all about adapting to a changing environment. Adapting means become adjusted to a new conditions and changing make or become different. Adapting to a changing environment on an everyday basis may be outdated and replaced. Meaning, lahat ng organization ay kailangan maging responsive sa lahat ng advantages in technological and skills. Tulad ng mga employee, kailangan mas dumarami at nagbabago yung mga nalalaman nila. At para mas maging successful yung organization, kailangan nilang yakapin at i-adapt yung mga pagbabago dito. Adding positions and departments. Bilang komplikado at kawalan ng katiyakan at sa pagtaas ng external environment tulad ng competition, legal, social, technological changes, economic changes, and political environment. Nagkakaroon ito ng relasyon at itong parte na to ay open system kung saan bawat sektor na external environment ay merong mga tao at empleyado na mag-handle nito. Tulad ng HR department, sila yung mga humahawak sa mga unemployed people na gustong magtrabaho. Sa marketing department naman, sila yung naghahanap ng mga customer. Yung finance group, sila naman yung nakikipag-deal sa mga bangko. Adding position and department ay isa ngayong common way para sa organization at para mas maka-adapt sila sa paglaki ng organization.
Everyone, my topic is all about differentiation and integration. Ang organizational differentiation ay isang samahan or group of people na pinamumunuan ng mga manager na iba't ibang department. Kung ang external environment ay komplikado at mabilis na nagbabago, ang organizational department naman, sila ay specialize sa ganung bagay at nag-handle ng mga uncertain things. From the word uncertain things, ibig sabihin nun is ayun yung mga bagay na hindi pa maayos o hindi pa sigurado. Kailangan, para mag-success yung iba't ibang sectors, kailangan expertise sila din sa mga ganung bagay para alam nila yung gagawin nila. Tapos, yung integration naman, sila yung nag-collaborate para tumulong sa organizational department. Kumbaga, mas dagdag sila para maging maayos yung organizational department. Tapos, under nila is tatlong department. Isang research and development department. Ang under naman nun is scientific journals, professional association, tsaka research centers. Sa manufacturing department naman is raw materials, labor, suppliers, tsaka production equipment. Sa sales department naman, under nun is customer distribution system, tsaka advertising agency, tsaka competitors. Yung tatlong department na yun is parang tumutulong sila para maging maayos yung environment, yung external environment. Tapos, meron namang mechanistic and organic management processes. Sa mechanistic management processes naman, sila yung mga employee na pag binigyan ng task is dun sila ilalagay. Kumbaga kung saan sila magaling, dun sila. Tapos, dito naman sa mechanistic management process, mayroong mahigpit na system or organization na authority at control at maraming rules dito. Tapos, yung knowledge and control daw na mga gawain dito is nakatungo siya sa top ng management. Kumbaga, sila na yung nagde-decide. Tapos, sa organic management processes naman, kumbaga, yung mga empleyado dito is nag-aambag sila or tumutulong sila sa common task ng department. Tsaka, yung mga empleyado doon is kung kapag may binigay sa inyong task, kumbaga nagti-teamwork sila, hindi sila nagsasolo doon sa isang task na binigay sa kanila. Pero dito, sa organic management process, plus dito yung mga system or organization ng authority at control. Hindi tulad sa mechanistic na mahigpit at konting rules lang dito.
Afternoon, I learned in PRIMAVERA. My topic is all about dependence on external resources. It's the study of how the external resources of organization affect the behavior of the organization. It means the dependence on external resources ay ang pag-aaral na makaka-apekto sa external behavior ng isang organisasyon. The procurement or the act of external resource ay isang importante pagniwala ng consultative and tactical management ng anumang kumpanya. Ganun naman, ang teorya ng consequences of this importance ay hindi formal hanggang 1970 sa pamamagitan ng publication of the external control at organization. And next is resource dependence perspective. Resource dependence has implication regarding the optimal divisional structure of organization, recruitment of board members and employees. It means may implikasyon regarding sa optimal divisional structure ng mga organisasyon at ang pag-recruit ng mga board members at ng mga empleyado dapat nasa production strategies, contract structure, external organizational things at marami pang ibang aspeto ng organization strategy. The basic argument of resource dependence can be summarized as follows. First is organizational depend on resources. Dito, ang isang organisasyon ay nakadepende sa resources nito. Next is the environment. Ay the resources ultimately originate from an organizational environment. Dito naman, yung mga resources na makukuha ay manggagaling original sa environment mo. The environment to considerable extent contains other organization. Maraming outside factors na kailangan i-consider. Maaaring ito ay ibang organisasyon na pwedeng maka-apekto sa isang organisation. Next is the resources one organization needs are thus often in the hand of the other organization. Sa resources, may isang organisasyon na kailangan humawak ng isa pang organisasyon.
Everyone, this is me, Jaymar Marquez, and I'm going to report about the chapter 4, Planning, Forecasting, and Responsiveness. This is a part of the chapter 4. Number 1 is the planning. What is planning? Of course, the definition of planning is the process of thinking about the activities required to achieve a desired goal. And as I said, the planning or the achieving of goals. And aside from my example from that is when you plan like in your group, di ba, pagka plano tayo, syempre, ma-achieve natin yung goal na yun dahil nagplano tayo na maayos at hindi tayo basta-basta. And the second one is the forecasting. Forecasting is the process of making predictions of future based on past, present, and data, most commonly by analysis or trends. Forecasting or may second one is forecasting. The forecasting or process of making predictions of future based and past and present data, most commonly by analysis of trends. Forecasting or by means of predicting your futures and goals to achieve everything you want, to everything in your organizations. Forecasting is the most important in this topic or subject because you are predicting something that you want to be in your goals. And the responsiveness. Responsiveness is a concept of computer science refers to specific ability of system functionally. You need to complete assigned tasks with given in time. For example, you have an assigned task by your manager or your or for us professors, in this day, she had given us a deadline for this project or something, assignment like that, and we have to be responsive about this. We have to give them the work, and the good things about this project is we are learning while we are working. And of course, these three are important in an organization because planning and forecasting increases as environmental uncertainty increases because of managers need to predict and anticipate internal changes. Planning keeps the organization geared for coordination and speedy response for a something project. And my report is about framework for responses, and it's environmental change. In our organization, it always been have an environmental change in every aspect. So the framework, which means defined framework is an a basic structure underlying a system, concept, or a text, or basically it's a system or concept, and then the responses, or the reaction or the response to others, and it's environmental change. However, organizations that adapt successfully are both profitable and admired. The following list both external and environmental factors can encourage organizational changes. So when we mean the factors on responses in its environmental changes, because in every company or every organization, they always been have a changes, and we have to be ready and to accept everything that changes, or maybe not, or maybe we can accept and learn to these changes. It's all basically a factor just responding to changes. That's all. And thank you. That's all of my report.
Hello everyone, I'm John Cesar Scal. So I'm gonna talk about establishing formal relationship. So it comes when building a formal relationship. It includes techniques such as acquire ownership, establishing joint ventures and partnership, developing connection with important people in the environment, recruiting key people, and using advertising and public relations. Okay, one of the formal relationship using techniques is acquire an ownership stake. So company or organization use various forms of ownership to reduce uncertainty in an area important to acquiring company. For example, a firm might buy a part of a controlling interest in another company, giving access to technology, products, or other resources. It doesn't currently have a greater degree of ownership and control. It is obtained by acquisition or merger. An acquisition involves the purchase of one organization by another so that the buyer assumes control. Another technique to build a formal relationship is form joint venture or partnership. So when there is a high level of complementarity between the business lines, geographically positions or skills of two companies, the firms often go the route of strategic alliance rather than ownership through merger or acquisitions. Such as alliances are formed through contracts and joint ventures. Contracts and joint ventures reduce uncertainty through a legal binding relationship with another firm. Another technique by building formal relationship with other organizations is locking key players. So it takes place, for example, when influential customers or suppliers are appointed to the board of directors, such as when the senior executive of a bank sits on the board of a manufacturing company. As a board member, the banker may become psychological co-opt into interest of the manufacturing firm. The final technique building a formal relationship is recruit executives. Transferring or exchanging executives also offers a method of establishing favorable linkages with external organization. Having channels of influence and communications within organization serves to reduce financial uncertainty and dependence for an organization. Okay, the next one is influencing key sectors. In addition to establishing favorable linkages, organizations often try to change the environment. There are 4 techniques for influencing or changing firm's environment. Okay, we can see here the four techniques for influencing or changing firm's environment. So one of them is change where you do business. So managers may try to find a domain where there's a little competition, no government regulation, abundant supplier, efficient customers, and barriers to keep competitors out. An example of this, for example, Google has acquired a number of companies to expand its domain beyond internet search, including the 1.65 billion acquisition of YouTube. So another technique is get political. Political activity includes techniques to influence government legislation and regulation. Political strategy can be used to erect regulatory barriers against new competitors or to squash unfavorable legislation. So the next technique is unite with others. So some manufacturing companies are part of the National Association of Manufacturers and Retailers. Join the Retail Industry Leader Association. By pooling resources, this organization can pay people to carry out activities such as lobbying legislator, influencing new regulation, developing public image campaign, and making campaign contributions. Okay, the final technique is don't fall into illegitimate. So, illegitimate activities represent the final technique companies sometimes use to control their environmental domain. But this technique typically backfires. Conditions such as low profits, pressure from senior managers, or scarce environmental resource may lead managers to adopt behaviors not considered legitimate. That's all for today. So, this is John Cesar Rusgal signing up.
Hi guys, I'm Brandon Tubes from HR44 and my topic is all about design essentials. So, first, essentials means important. So, design essentials means how the design is important to the work. There are 5 essential ways to make your design work. So the first one is encourage new behaviors. Second is measure. Third one is consistently communicate. Fourth one is formally review the design. And the last one is evaluate leader commitment. The first one is encourage new behaviors. Your new organization design created new roles that required new work. Often, new roles fails to leave behind old habits, so you should assess how well everyone is demonstrating. There is new skills and responsibilities. The team is used to doing things a certain way, so encouraging new ways of working and ensuring old behaviors do not creep into the design is important to change. The second one is measure. Remember that your design was created to deliver value. Now that is in place, it's imperative that you measure this value. What were the original goals you sought to meet by implementing this new design? A consistent set of metrics will help you tell the story. Take a look back on the capabilities you believe were required to win in your market. These capabilities should be tied to measures that can be tracked. Work with your finance team to build a scorecard for the new design. The third is consistently communicate. The staying power and effectiveness of your new design will be greatly impacted by how well your employees understand and support it. Collect data and observe how the change is being implemented. And then, share some great story using this data. Work with your communications or public relation teams. The fourth one is formally review the design. This is the first of 2 steps that are focused on the executive leadership team. Many in this group are engaged in the design process leadership team and likely the biggest stakeholders, similar to a new product launch or major capital project. there should always be a formal review of a major organization design. The organization design leader should prepare a presentation on the goals of design, the major intended shifts, and the scorecard. Each key leader should be given the opportunity to provide input based on their experience and of their opportunity to provide input based and any data gathered from focus groups or surveys should be summarized and reported. Finally, there should be a facilitated discussion where executives share their feedback and make recommendations for improvement. This results in an action plan that should be revisited later in the year. The last essential is evaluate leader commitment. So, figuring out if executives are demonstrating the new behaviors and serving as role models can be a bit tricky, but it is extremely important to the success of your new design. Many executive team members were likely intimately involved in the design process. They need to be pressed to continue to preach the positive message of the change and walk the talk. There may be some leaders who are less committed. This may be due to a skill gap that is making it difficult to serve as role model. The organization design leader, in this case, needs to privately work with the executive to admit the gap and then develop a plan to improve. And this is your reporter. Yes, I am Brandon.